Hey everyone, welcome back, and thank you so much for coming in here. I gotta say, you guys have lifted up my spirits here in the comments right now in the chat. I wish there was a way we could do this where it was more interactive, where I could hear you guys, we could talk. But definitely, I really appreciate you guys in the comments there. I needed that. I needed a little bit of a boost, so thank you for that. But today, what we're gonna talk about is some updates on the tariffs. Right, China's gonna get 104% probably tomorrow or overnight, whenever that's gonna happen. There's some headbutting, I guess, in the White House right now with Elon Musk and the other guy. I can't remember his name right now. Not Rover, whatever the heck his name is. He's an idiot over there. But, you know, it's kind of nice to see that Musk is actually standing on the side of right a little bit. He typically does, but he gets out of line a little bit sometimes, right? I love the guy. I love everything that he stands for the most part, but sometimes he gets a little bit too far on his soapbox and goes off the deep end on things. But this time I actually agree with him. I agree with him on a lot of things. But this time for sure, I mean, the White House right now just seems to be in, I don't know, it's like stupid mode or something, in kindergarten mode. I can't fathom, I can't understand the rationale that they are going through with all of this stuff all at once. Whose brainchild was this to do all the tariffs all at once? Right, I'm sure you guys are scratching your head as well on this, like I am and so many other people in the country. It is just asinine. It's stupidity at its worst. It's poor planning and everything else you can imagine. You're pissing off our friends, our allies that are all around the world, and you might be pissing off some people as well at, like China. Okay, fine. China's a different story there. But still, you need to work with all these people, and it should have been done a different way. I'm just going to leave it at that. We're going to take a look at some things that are happening here right now. The 10-year, 30-year bonds are going up. 10-year bonds are going up as well. Markets are kind of crashing down a little bit here in the after hours, and the futures markets as well. Bitcoin's down. Miners were down today. They were up a little bit, and then they came back crashing down. What else do we have here? We'll take a look at the miners' stats, which is going to be on March numbers for them. How do they look on that? We'll also take a look at BigBear AI a little bit. I'll give you guys my thoughts on that one. That one's kind of interesting, but we'll see if we want to include it going forward or not, and you guys can let me know at that point. What else do we have here? I think that's basically it. So again, thank you so much for coming in. Greatly appreciate you guys, and I love the comments, so keep those coming. But as always, not financial advice for entertainment only. Do your own research. Full disclosure below that. Hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. It's a lot less than a tariff on another country right now. So it doesn't take that long for you guys to hit that little like button. All right, let's take a look at what's going on here with the markets, with Bitcoin and the miners and everything else right now. I'm looking at the futures right now. The S&P is down a little bit here, about 1%. The NASDAQ is down as well, about 1% so far. Oil's coming down, right? Oil is down below $60. It's at $57 today. Gold was up a little bit today as well. Another light crude oil futures were down to 57. So VIX, oh my gosh, the VIX volatility. I mean, we got to a high of 41 in that one on the VIX S&P 500. High of 60, right? That was the day before. Huge. I mean, we haven't had that high for a long time. So volatility is definitely in play here on it. Going down to Bitcoin and the markets. Markets were down today. Everything was down today. It's just, it is what it is. Ethereum is down to 1.4 thousand right now. I mean, geez, it's back to where it was all the way back to 2023 roughly in March. So going back 2 years, how much that thing has retraced here. Bitcoin at 76,000. It's still holding above our previous high of around 73,700, whatever it was, which was back here right before the halving event. On it, we can look it up. It was right there, and the high on that point was 73,130. 73,709.99. So 73,710. Roughly, that's the white line here. We are still slightly holding above that. We did come down to a bounced off of it. Maybe a good sign, maybe not. We'll have to wait and see. But it is at least holding that support there right around, I would say, the low on it was, where is it, 76,000. Oh, geez, where's the low? 74,553. So maybe that's kind of the support line here where we're going to hold off. If we don't hold off on that and we fall below this, well, at that point, I think, what's our next support line here possibly? I think our next support line is probably going to be around 71,000, maybe, if that holds for a short while we work this tariff stuff out, this ludicrous crap. I'm getting frustrated with this just because of stupidity, right? But you see that there's some support here where we have peaked at that right around there. So I would say 71,000. If that doesn't hold, then we're probably looking more in line right around 66,000, right around there. So that's kind of where I'd be looking for. And if we hold there for too long, well, we might be in a bear market, and well, the overall market may be going down. We might be heading into a recession, and we are all, well, in a bad spot at that point. But the good side of this is, if you guys have the patience and you have the time and the duration to be in the markets for a longer period of time, historically, this would be the time to be buying in a little bit or buying in a lot, depending on how much cash you have on the sidelines. Because one, we don't know where the bottom is going to be, but if you can get in close to the bottom, or somewhere near the bottom at least, on the markets, Bitcoin, whatever it might be, that usually bodes well for people that are invested in a little bit longer time frame, looking out to maybe 5-10 years, whatever it might be, even 2 years, 3 years, whatever it might be. You're going to end up doing pretty well here. So that's the only thing that's kind of keeping me sane a little bit here, is thinking, okay, if this holds off for too long, maybe I can buy back in a little bit later on. Like I said before, I got to pay taxes, so my cash is all set aside right now for that. I'm not going to get into the market right now and risk losing even more and then having to sell more stocks in order to buy or to pay taxes, right? So that would be stupid. So I'm on the sidelines right now as it is, but I'd love to be buying here a little bit nonetheless on it. All right, miners here. Oh my gosh, miners had a pretty bad day here today. They've been being down quite a bit. Bitfarms was down almost 9.25%. BitBear was down 11.35. Cypher was down 5.38. I mean, we're getting, well, we didn't get a new low on this one here. It doesn't look like, let's see. Let's go on the 1-year chart on it. We had a low the prior day here on it. Cleanspark got to 645, it looks like, and the low was down 9.29%. CORZ down 7.26%. Also, Hive was down 7.75%. It probably got to a new low, 126 in the last day or two. Hut 8 was down 3%. IREN was down 9, almost 10% there. Mara was down 6.5%. Riot was down 8%. Wolf was down 15% here. Quite a retracement of what it had from yesterday here. And it is, well, it's getting closer to its 52-week low, $1.82. It's at 226 here. MicroStrategy was down today, 11% as well. It's coming back down to its kind of support here range, at least right now on that one. Galaxy was up. Galaxy did pretty good here, surprisingly enough. But Galaxy, I think, is going up because of they're working towards getting NASDAQ listing and all that stuff. On it, you can see some of the other things here. Small miners were down as also. ETFs were down big, 5%, 4, 6, 7% also on that one. I have both WGMI and BitQ. Those are, I'm still in the green on those because I got into them back in January of 2023, pretty much at the bottom, right when these things came out. So I got in there, so I'm still positive on those. But man, it definitely has hurt. I've lost probably 50% of the value in those things over the last, I would say, 6, 7, 9 months or something like that. It was much, much higher in value than where it is right now, but I'm still up about 100-some% on them. So holding on to those. Those are in my retirement account. I'm going to continue to add into those as time progresses here. But yeah, I mean, this is what we got so far in the markets. Tomorrow is going to be probably no better than this. From what we saw here, we can see the Dow futures are they're coming down a little bit here, at least drop-wise. It's 0.77% now for the Dow futures. S&P is down 0.91. NASDAQ futures are down 0.87. Oil is down still to $57 here. Asia markets, the ASX is down 1%. The Nikkei is down 2.89. Shanghai is down 1.3. HSI is at 2.5. So it's not as bad as it was looking at least a little bit earlier on it. But when we do look at the bonds here, let's see if we take a look at the bonds. Check this out. US 10-year notes are going up, went up today, right? They're at 4.3 here. One of the premises for the tariffs was to bring down the bond yields on these things. And they did work for a couple of days, but now they're starting to come back up here. So you're seeing that on the 10-year here. I'm trying to see if I can find the 30-year as well. I don't have it here, but I do have it here. The 30-year on this one is back to 4.8. So what does that mean for investors? Well, that's not good. I saw on X someplace somebody was posting that somebody is selling the bonds. It could be a nation state, could be countries, it could be China, it could be the UK, it could be anybody and everybody right now, because the United States has a target on its back because of tariffs, unfortunately. So we're seeing that increase, but that means obviously the 30-year mortgage rates are going to be going up. The interest rates on those are going to be probably around 7%. That's not good. This is not good. This is not what they wanted. I don't know if this is going to be enough to change their minds on being a little bit more proactive on negotiating with all these countries going forward with the tariffs. But yeah, it's just another thing that kind of puts a little wrench in all this stuff here. So there's that. going back over here, and here it is. So special situation posts, U.S. 30-year almost 5% now. Mortgage rates going back to well above 7% at this rate via biohazard, whatever. Unbelievable for homeowners. Right, this is not good. For this, next here really quick is China responds to U.S. tariffs by selling another $50 billion in treasuries and keeps selling. So this is kind of where I'm getting that information. I don't know how accurate this is. Take it with a grain of salt here. But you can see the treasuries going up on it. And then the Wolf of All Streets posted, WTF, just in, Apple flies in 5 planes full of iPhones to avoid U.S. tariffs. Apple's finally innovating again. I think maybe this was a joke. I'm not sure if there's any credit to this. But yeah, I mean, if you can get product in from China or wherever your stuff is being made in a relatively quick session before the tariffs go into place, you might as well do it, right? I mean, you're going to pay a little bit on the freight and things like that, but man, you're going to save a lot of money and make a lot of money also on the tariffs when the tariffs do go into place, because you're going to be raising stuff up. So that's why I say this stuff does not make any sense with the tariffs. It's just lunacy right now. It's, a monkey house in there, it seems like. Next here, really quick here, this is interesting here because this kind of gets us into the topic we're going to talk about a little bit later on as well on AI and data centers a little bit here. But Microsoft has canceled about a $1 billion project to build 3 data centers in Ohio, just 5 days after Trump's tariffs. I don't know how much impact that has on it, but I'm sure it has some on it. Licking County, Ohio, will now lose roughly 1,000 jobs and $150 million per year in revenue for the local economy, right? So that's not good. But we're seeing that kind of happening here in the space a little bit where people are pulling back, which rightfully so, because if you're a company and you're trying to figure out what's going on here in the markets and what you're going to be planning ahead, you can't do that with these kind of tariffs going up and up and up and then possibly going down. You don't know what that's going to be happening here. Do you bring jobs in here? Well, okay, fine. If the tariffs are in place, that's one thing. But you don't know if the tariffs are going to be in place because Trump could be gone in the next 3 years and somebody else comes in and lowers all the tariffs, or they work out a new deal again. So you don't have that certainty of what you can plan ahead for, unfortunately, and that is going to put a wrench in everything else. Not to mention that the United States, already has a shortage of workers as it is when it comes to more specialty jobs, and when it comes to also manufacturing and things like that. I think I read an article today that said the U.S. employers are looking for like 500,000 people to work, but there's just not enough people. And if you try bringing in even more manufacturing to the United States, where is that workforce going to come from, right? Do you start letting people back in from Mexico at that point? I mean, that's why I say it's kind of like it hasn't been very, very well thought through as far as if you do this, what is the outcome going to be, or what is the possibility of something else happening, right? So if you guys have ever worked in manufacturing or anything like that, a lot of companies will use the 5 whys, or 5 whys I think it's called. It's basically you go, why did this happen? You go down the list and then you go, okay, why did this happen because of, why wasn't this done or something like that? You go down the list with 5 whys and trying to figure out what is the actual root cause of anything that went wrong. So they should have done that. I doubt that they did that. They're just like, tariffs on everybody will be good, right? Everybody's going to come begging for the United States to negotiate with them to, work out a deal because the United States is all powerful. And we have seen that quite a few countries do that, which is fine, which is great. But yeah, like I said, I'm getting on my soapbox here. But that is it on that one. So that's not good here. Let's go back to the screen here. On AI and data center build-outs, that's not good. And that also then corresponds also with some of the public miners that we cover, right? Core, IREN, TeraWolf as well, Bitfarms, all of these guys that have HPC aspirations. If Microsoft is scrapping or at least putting on hold right now, $1 billion project, what is the likely outcome that they will work with a Bitcoin miner where they will be leasing a center out when they could be building out one themselves? So, right, keep that in mind there. That's one of those things you also have to think about. And then last little tweet here we got, this is the one that I was going to show you guys. I think maybe the one that I showed you guys was going to be on Microsoft. Okay, so I must have doubled on one of them. Oh, and then here you go. Have you guys seen these before? I'm sure you guys have. They're all over TikTok and on X. It's just how Donald Trump's going to make America great again. You got basically Americans working in sweatshops, more or less, sewing all the stuff for us. I'm sure there's a lot of people that do this, and they are very, very good workers and everything else, but how many workers would you actually need added to this for them to be able to produce all the garments and clothes and everything else that we would need here in the United States if we were to be self-sustained. I just don't see that happening. That's why I'm hopeful that eventually these tariffs and the fights going back and forth between the countries, raising tariffs and having a trade war, will get eventually worked out and we get a deal in place because, like I said, this is just ludicrous. Okay, next, let's take a look at really quick here. So I got that one. That's all I have as far as what's happening right now, my thoughts and everything. But let's take a look at BigBear AI. This was one that was requested by a viewer. I can't remember what the viewer was, but this was requested also, and this is one of the lists that I got BigBear AI on. At least I tried to do like a list of 50 companies that are in HPC, AI, data centers, and things like that, and BigBear was one of them. They're a smaller company here. They are about 1 billion in market cap, I believe, something like that. So similar to like the miners actually. But they don't have any data centers. They just develop software here. So my question to you guys is, are you guys interested in companies that develop just software? Or are you guys interested in companies that actually have data centers and AI and things like that, aspirations and things like that? Let me know down in the comments. We'll talk about that. Or yeah, let me know in the comments actually, if you guys are interested. But this one was kind of interesting as well. This one has more of a national security AI play for them. They do all other things as well. But they're saying BigBear AI provides decision intelligence solutions and is trusted by leaders in government and defense, travel and transportation, manufacturing and warehouse operations, and healthcare and life sciences. So they're working on software in the background that helps people make decisions, basically. Their numbers have been improving over the last 4 quarters, which is what I like to see. The stock has also done pretty good here, not recently, because everything that's HPCI related has been coming down, and the tariffs and everything else. But overall, there's looking like they're on the right track going forward here. And they did win a Department of Defense contract to prototype near-peer adversary geopolitical risk analysis, and another AI tool, I guess, on top of it. But they only have locations. They have a couple locations. They got about 630 people working for them, which is still a pretty big company here. And here's all the data I was able to pull in on them. So they're an AI software developer, right? They don't have any data centers. They're most likely leasing facilities, or at least HPCI data centers, things like that. They're leasing those for their uses and for their customers' uses. They are in the government, so a lot of the information you don't get as far as per customer revenue and things like that. A lot of it is kind of all mixed in together on it. And I mean, you can see the stock price here has done actually, for some reason, it ran up like crazy here in, what was it, March? And then it's definitely pulled back off like everybody else has. But it's still 151% from its 52-week lows. It's now 71% down from its 52-week highs. Revenue quarter over quarter has been about 5.5% increase. Revenue year over year has been about 32% increase. So revenues are increasing here. Like I said, they have about 630 employees right now. And going down here, let's see, employee revenue per quarter is about 69,000. Revenue employee per year is about 251,000. Profit margin is about 40%, but they are still unprofitable, but they are getting possibly towards profitability here. Revenues, as you can see here, have been increasing, right? 33 million per quarter, 39, 41, 43. So those are growing. So they're getting more and more contracts there. And that should have been, oh, I got an error there. I'll fix that. Got an error quite a few places here. Cost of revenue has been going up, but it's been coming down here at least a little bit. The latest quarter would have showed in Q4 for them. Net income has also been, the loss on it has been decreasing, which is good to see. Research and development has been kind of flat more or less, so that's not bad. Operating loss profit, I got this double in here, looks like, yep. And then number of shares, a huge increase in shares here, 30 some million in Q4 on it. Debt to equity is negative for some reason. I got to look into that. Current ratio is down, so I think they got some debt there. Price to book ratio, you can see that profit margin about 59% on the quarter there. And yeah, I pulled in all the data, but it does look pretty interesting to what they are doing. And if they get more government contracts or more customers, this one could definitely do pretty well here, depending where we end up with the economy and everything else. But the thing that I liked about this is the growth. It's happening, the increases in revenue, the losses are getting smaller and smaller, which eventually means that they could possibly be profitable in a couple quarters, right, on it. But yeah, let me know if this is something you guys would be interested in, keeping track of it or not. It's kind of hard to see what else we can find in there. We can probably look at maybe the software they have, maybe if they provide that information. But it's not a data center play. It's not an AI play. It's a software AI play. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of that one. Okay. Next here is going to be on the miners here really quick. We're just going to look at the stats on miners. That's a mouthful. We're looking at back in March numbers for them. And we look at how many sats were mined per share. We look at total sats per share. And then BTC per exahash as well on this. I'm missing the data for BitDeer on it. BitDeer has not provided their data yet. I checked earlier today, but I didn't see it. I didn't check after hours, though, if they provided it or not. Okay, but here's what we got. So best operator here based on sats mined per share, right? So how does that, what does that actually entail? What that entails to me at least is the higher the number is, the better it is, because that way they're mining more basically satoshis per share, which should then yield better returns, right? Better revenues and things like that going forward per share, at least on this one. Other things can be impact that as well, such as HODL, right? If you have a huge HODL position, that can impact it negatively or positively, depending where we are. But you can see Cleanspark had 251 sats mined per share, IREN 243, Marathon 234, Riot 152, Hut 8 83, Core 81, Hive 69, Bitfarms 51, Cypher 49, right? So if you have more shares outstanding, you're going to be lower on the numbers on this stuff, more or less. But you could also be low shares but have bad operations, and you're going to be down on the bottom as well. HODL stats, obviously Marathon came in number one here at 13,745, followed by Hut 8 at 10,968, Riot with 5,489, Cleanspark with 4,227, and Hive at 1,416. Basically, how many sats are in each share of their HODL that's in there. And then when we look at their efficiencies for the month of March, we can see that Hive actually, like I talked about in yesterday's stream, I believe it was, that Hive would have probably like the best operations out of the miners here for March. And sure enough, their BTC per exahash efficiency was 17.3, best out of the class here, followed by Cleanspark at 16.65, then Riot at 15.82, followed by Cypher, Bitfarms, Marathon, IREN, Core, Hut 8, and then BitDeer. Obviously, I'm missing data on those guys. All right, so that is it. We'll look at some other things as well. Hopefully, BitDeer reports. BitDeer's always kind of late to report, though. I'm hoping they report at least sometime this week so we can get into some of the other metrics as well on it. I mean, we can see enterprise metrics right now are looking, I mean, everything's undervalued as it is. Not only the miners, but other stocks also. It's pretty nuts. MNEV here. Here's the latest data on MNEV. I pulled in as of today. We can see here, what do we got? Might as well look at this while we're at it. BitDeer with their HODL position here is about 4.36, MNEV, Bitfarms 0.65, Cypher 1.14, Cleanspark 0.95, CORZ actually negative, Hive 0.6, Hut 8 1.214, Marathon 1.02, and Riot 0.7 at that point, right? So if you look at their current assets with HODL, that's based off of the Q4 results, right? So we'll get some updated numbers when they actually report Q1 numbers. But you can see that their market cap right now is about 2.3 billion, but their assets are about 2.9, right? So they're kind of their MNAV is under right now. You want it to be at least 1 or higher at that point. So this tells us that they are undervalued here, along with pretty much everybody else on board here, except for maybe Hut 8, which is a little high here still. All right, that is it. Let's get into Q&A. Let's call it a day. Oh man, it feels like I'm in a bad dream with all this stuff happening in the tariffs and the economy and everything else. Was looking for a much better year than last year with the miners, but we didn't get that, did we? I wish I would just wake up out of this bad dream, be in a much better place, watching Bitcoin be at 150,000, miners being much higher. That would be, well, at that point it might be a dream, at least right now on it. All right, let's get into Q&A. As always, if you guys could preface the questions with a question mark or a Q, I'm going to scroll up, and I see you guys have been pretty busy here commenting and chatting, so let's see what we got here. Let's see. Right. Bear with me. I'm trying to find some questions here. Stuff we were talking about here earlier. Okay, I talked about that already in the comments. Let's see here. Said make a Discord. I do have a Discord. It's for the Patreon members there. Ricky says I shorted Peanut, the way we can hear each other cry. I'm selling my cars. Chris is selling his cars. Tariffs will make my cars expensive again. Let's see. Institutions are loading up retail, selling highest ratio since 2020. Tells you what you need to know. Okay. Stay in. Dollar cost average down if you can, right? Let's see. Sorry, says Trump is doing all the tariffs at once so he can get it over with. Plenty of recovery time before midterms. Maybe. We'll have to wait and see, right? But it doesn't. Time will tell, I guess. Let's see, BlackRock's at a loss with investment in CleanSpark. Everybody's pretty much in a loss right now, depending when they got in. BlackRock is a bag holder. Everybody's a bag holder right now. Let's see, hey, Steb, I can see the whole stress on your face. Feel bad, brother? No, it's just I have, so you're seeing probably the red dots, right? The acne coming in. I'll be honest with you guys. I have ulcerative colitis, and when that flares up, my face flares up also. And so I've been dealing with this for like 20 some years now. It's just a constant battle for me, trying to keep the ulcerative colitis in check, while also trying to keep the acne from the inflammation, everything else in check as well on it. So I've taken steroids the last couple of weeks here to combat my ulcerative colitis flaring up, and then here stopped taking the steroids yesterday, and my face is now starting to puff out or get acne and everything else. So I'm pretty sure it's all tied together with inflammation, and so now I got to start taking again the antibiotics for this. If you have any cures, remedies, let me know. I've tried pretty much everything under the book, and it's all meds for me, unfortunately. Hi, Sub, can I see? Oh, it's that one. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I can tell Seb's absolutely pissed for good reason. Yeah, I mean, everybody is, right? DC markets rally on Thursday of CPI report comes in at 2.4 using 45-day offset from Trueflation. I don't know if that's going to be enough. I really don't. Depending on what happens with the tariffs with China, do we have any kind of sentiment that's going to change in the right direction or not? I don't know. I really don't know. I would like to think that would make a difference, but it might be short-lived, right? We may get a little pop and then go back down. All right. You guys are missing Kamala Harris there, I see. All right, what else? Ricky says Trump going at 7.5. All right, there we go. Question here. Hi, Seb. Some other people I follow are saying the Fed may do an emergency rate cut. What is your opinion? Thanks. I saw that also, but why would they do an emergency rate cut? I mean, the markets are still, they're down, right? Markets are down, but they're not here to save the markets. The fund rates are still, they're going up a little bit here on the bonds are going up, but I just don't see why they would do that unless they're being pressured by Trump and everything else. That's the only reason I would think they would do it, but why? Let's see where inflation comes in, everything else. The Fed's got a mandate of low inflation and high jobs, basically, right? Employment, to have full employment as much as possible. I think that's just a rumor there. FedWatch now has a May cut at 100%, possibly, right? I would think so also if the tariffs continue to hold on. John says, someone in the administration today said they had a logical plan for the tariffs, but Trump didn't like it, so he came up with a formula which made no sense and was told he was stupid. Okay. All right, question. If the value of BTC for CleanSpark is staying around $1 billion with all the BTC price drops and CleanSpark market caps keeps dropping, why not load the boat? That's definitely up to each individual, right? I've said before that I would be buying right now if I didn't have to pay taxes coming up here. So it is definitely something you can do on that one and on others as well. He says, mention BTC goes back to $100. Oh, geez. I think you mean $100, not 100,000. But that would be, I'll take 100,000. $100? Might as well wipe my butt with it at that point, because I think toilet paper is going to cost just as much. Let's see. All right, John says, InnoData is a better small cap AI play rather than BBAI, which I hold unfortunately down 40%. Okay. I think I do have InnoData as well as one of the ones to check on. Let me take a look here really quick. See if I got that one. I think I do. Let me see. Let me go to my settings. InnoData. Yep, I do have it. It is right above BBAI. So I do have that one on my list. And here's my list that I'm slowly trying to get through. So you guys can see that there's quite a few companies here, big caps, small caps, medium caps, all that stuff is in there, and we'll try to look at some of these guys here as time progresses as well. All right, let's go back to Q&A. Mark says, we had so much hopes and dreams last year, now I am broke. Now we are all broke. Yeah. It's funny how things change in a year. Bitcoin may have to reverse split. Let's see, I saw the picture of the man at the sewing machine butt head. Yeah, I saw that one too. I saw one, there was one with JD Vance also, and Elon Musk in the background. They're all sewing, they're making America great again. I mean, at least we can laugh at it a little bit, but it's still kind of painful. At the same time that this is kind of what they may want to have the United States become, right? Let's see, if Trump succeeds in devaluing the U.S., does this help BTC increase relative to the dollar? That, I don't know. I mean, they were somewhat successful in the first couple of days, right? We saw the bonds going down and everything else, and Bitcoin stayed pretty good here. I mean, Bitcoin right now is at 75,000, almost 76,000 as it is. It's coming down. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. All right. Let's see. Seb, are you researching other things outside Bitcoin miners? Personally, I would like if you studied quantum stocks in the future. That might be something we get into as well. Right now, we're getting through like the data centers, AI plays. I'm looking into those guys right now. And I'll try to do at least like one or, I'm hoping to do at least two videos a week on one of those guys. Yeah, we'll bring that up as well. All right, question. All this AI stuff was basically about large language models, but there are so many other domains of AI. How can NVIDIA or HPCs ever run out of backlogs of computers, even with the recession? Productivity gains. Yes, productivity gains is one thing. Cost might be the other thing, but you know, depending on the semiconductors, if those are included as semiconductors, the GPUs, everything else, or it's the actual semiconductors themselves. So that's the interesting question I have there. I'm not sure on the answer on that one, is at least not right now. But that could have an impact on how much you're spending, right? I mean, if you're getting stuff from China, like servers made in China, delivered here, you're paying 100,000 or 100% more on it right now. No, that's not gonna fly, right? You need to get this stuff worked out. All right. Thoughts on the global M2 versus BT chart? Yeah, the M2, if you offset it by, what is it, like 100 some odd days, it looks like Bitcoin might be ready to run more or less, right? I saw that. We've covered that in the past as well. So that'll be interesting to see if that actually plays out that way. Let's see, homemade stuff are not affordable. A t-shirt can be $300. Okay. It seems that Bitcoin is going to 50,000. Would the miners be profitable? Miners are dumping big time. The miners would not be profitable at that point. Bitcoin's going down to 50,000. No. We would need to have the network hash rate actually drop. The difficulty also drop at that point. And depending where it lands, then they might be again profitable. But we need a lot of old machines getting unplugged and people that are unprofitable unplugging it at the same time for that to happen. Manu says the S&P is down 15% year to date and the BTC is down 18% year to date. Why do some people believe that BTC is decoupled from the market? Yeah, because what we saw last week, Bitcoin was going up and the markets were actually going down. I think that's why. Question, it feels over, the bears won? Not yet, right? It definitely feels like it right now because of where we are with everything. But I would say we need a little bit more time to see if that's actually the case. Question, remember when you sell, then I know it's max pain and time to load up. Okay. Haven't sold yet. Let's see. Another bad day down. I think you should move to cash, especially until the rates come lower. I would hate to hear you talking LS, bro. Taking losses, bro. There are losses if I sell, right? If I don't sell, there's not losses. I can hold off. I don't need the cash, so I can hold off a little bit longer. Without having to sell the stocks, right? Never a thing that I want to do there at a loss. But sometimes if it's a bad company, you might sell a loss to just get out of it to go into another company. Let's see here. Seb, it's not beyond the realm of imagination to think Elon was whispered in Trump's ear that humanoid robots are close to release and volume means no more worries about cheap labor. Well, then, yeah, then how is that saving the regular worker, right? the manufacturing worker, the lineman or whatever it might be, how is that actually helping them out? Right? If that's the case, then you're going to basically need to buy a robot for everybody, and everybody's going to be sitting at home watching TikToks while their robots are making revenue for them. I mean, is that the way it's going to work? I hope not. Let's see. Be honest. How money are you down from peak prices for miners? I'll go for 74,000. I'm down. At peak, I was probably around close to like 200,000 up. At peak, I'm down. I'm back to where I was. I'm down. Right now, I'm down about 8% on my portfolio on the miners. So, yeah, 200,000 roughly wiped out. Sub the year is just first quarter in, so plenty of time for sentiment to swing the other direction. Yep. Those are types of things that are still keeping me a little bit positive. It's just like, okay, this is just a blip. This is just a blip on the radar of time. If we can get through this, we got plenty more time to go. Things may turn out much better for us here. But all this whining, complaining, everything else, the pain that we're feeling right now is in the moment, and in the moment it feels bad. And we don't like that, right? We like seeing stuff going up, growing in the green. It's like, yeah, we're making money. This is great. But man, when things go red on us, it's like, and here's the other thing. I heard this today as well. I thought this was kind of interesting. When people look at the markets and stocks, when markets and stocks go down, people are hesitant to buy them. But if you go to a store and you see something on sale for 35 or 40% off, you're going to get that thing, right? So we have to change our mentality a little bit as well on the way we approach stocks and the way we look at them, especially good companies, right? Things like that. In the short term, I think our psyche is wired a little bit wrong when we look at this, right? Market's down, stocks are down. It's like, oh, geez, I'm going to sell out of these things. These things are crap. Instead of looking at them and go, this thing's at a discount. I probably should be buying into this right now. So keep that in mind as well. All right. Is this bull cycle same as others? Feels similar to the bear cycle to me. If we're in a bear cycle, we're in a bear cycle. Yeah, I mean, but this still is not like a typical bear cycle. I mean, we need to be down 70, 80% on Bitcoin. We're only down 30. Let's take a look at where are we down now on it. Still probably 30-some%. Let me see. Miners here. Let's take a look at it. From the top to the bottom, we are down. Let's see here. It's been from the top here, roughly right around there, all the way down to here. That's only 32%. We've had corrections where we were down 34, 38%. So this does not feel out of the ordinary, at least not yet. Once we get past 40%, I think then we're in the bear market and, you know, things are going in the wrong direction here. But right now, this still seems like a correction here. Time will tell, right? I have no crystal ball on this, but that's kind of just the way I see it and the way I saw it, at least in the prior cycles as well. Let's see. Have you looked into the global M2 correlation? Yes, I have. You take Bitcoin underneath it, you take the M2 supply over it, and you offset it by about 100 and some odd days, and you can see how that actually follows, how Bitcoin follows the M2 supply. So yes, and I don't have the chart ready here, otherwise I'd pull it up. JD says, should have seen this coming with the Trump meme coin rug pulls. Dude set the tone early in front of all of us. Yeah, I didn't like the way that was done, to be honest. I'm sure a lot of people didn't either. Let's see. International investors hold 30% of U.S. stocks in their portfolios. When the push comes to shove, hate selling will begin. Yes, sir. Yeah. Carl says, all right, ulcerative I have not been specifically diagnosed with that, but the term my stuff as degenerative disease, diverticulitis surgery, etc. found that works for me. Okay, interesting. I'll have to take a look at that. Yeah. Yeah, but something that I've been dealing with for, gosh, since I was 22, 23. And for the most times, it's good, except when it flares up. If it flares up, it's bad. But one of the bad side effects of that is my face breaks out. My face breaks out because of the inflammation and everything else. But it's typically managed, and then I have to take like antibiotics to treat the inflammation and the acne going on my face. So it's, you know, one of those things you deal with in life, and you learn to live with it, and you move forward. All right. What do you think? What do you think? How high Graph and Digital can go? Graph and Digital? Are they? Well, I don't even know where they're at right now as far as stock price is concerned. I don't even think I've been the smaller miners anymore. But yeah, I don't think they can go that much higher from where they are right now. Probably lower on it. Carl says here, organic. Sorry, we're doing a little medical discussion here, I guess. Organic coconut milk, have a cup in the morning, have a cup in the evening, look into it. Also, take 1 tablespoon of food grade DMSO one time with every 3 to 5 days. Okay. I'll take a look at that. Thank you. All right. Question, if China can't sell to the U.S. directly or through other countries, then who can they sell to prop up their economy? They have to negotiate or end up with about 1 billion plus mad citizens. Well, I mean, China doesn't just sell to us, right? They sell to other countries as well, all around the world. So I think we represent only like 25, correct me if I'm wrong here, 25 or 30% of their exports to the United States, roughly. But we're the biggest one there that's buying all, everybody else is, percentage here, percentage there, whatever it might be. So can they defend a 25% loss? Possibly. I'm not an economist. I don't know what's going on with China exactly. I know that they have their own issues and things like that. But yeah, I don't know on that one. All right. Let's see. Seb, are you still in the red or in the green? I'm in the green on Cleanspark, but Mara, IREN, and Bitfarms, I'm in the red, which then puts me in the red on everything, unfortunately. All right. Let's see. We'll do a poll. Who's red or green? I'm guessing it's going to be pretty much everybody's going to be in the red here. All right. Let's do a poll. Start a poll. Okay. Are you in red or green? Red, green. Should we put in there orange as well? I'm just kidding. All right. There's a poll. Let's see what you guys are at. All right. Add a percentage up or down as well to the poll. How do you do that? Percentage up or down? No, it's going right now. Ricky, no, I do not want to be president. Heck no. Do not want to do that. Let's see, don't sell. If Trump make some kind of a negotiations offer, then the market can jump 200 points a day and recoup all the losses quickly. Don't be market timer people. Yeah, I would agree there. Sadie, thank you so much for the like and thumbs buttons. We know moaning. Okay. Let's see. Everything is down, guys. Just hold on. I would agree. Right? Patience in the market. You got to be able to weather this kind of stuff as well. Unless we're heading into the dark ages, right, where the economies of all the world countries fall and we go back to using paper and working with our hands, and I don't know. I don't see that happening. All right. Let's see. Carl says, if it makes you feel better, I am down 394 from peak. Been there multiple times in 25 years. Beg, borrow, sell crap. You don't need to have money to invest. Nice. All right. Outside of tariffs, things have never been better for Bitcoin adoption, SIB legislation. You're right, right? We do have a lot of things happening here that's good, but the big story right now is tariffs. That's taking control of everything. CGD says, Elon encouraging the U.S. to outsource from a certain country that has hurt the IT field. I think our jobs are screwed with AI. Yeah. So, yeah, no, I'm not going to say that. All right. Let's see. We need Sleepy Joe back in the office. He's called that because we can sleep without our portfolio and 401k jumping 25% or 20% in a year. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Bedtime is almost over. Guys, show some love to Seb. Let's hit the like button together. I appreciate that. Pitt, have a great night. Thanks for coming in. Getting close to the end of the comments here. See, Gary says, BTC may not be in a bear market, but hard to argue miners aren't. Yeah, I mean, being down 50, 60%, that's definitely a bear market. Are still in bull. Then we have at least another 90% to go, depending on when we call it a bear. Yeah. Question here. I heard miners lost billions in March because of the market downturn. Are the miners still in good shape financially now? The miners, yeah, I mean, the market caps have come down, right? But as far as their balance sheets are concerned, they're still in pretty good shape. Most of these guys here, they either have ATMs, they got plenty of cash on hand, they got Bitcoin they can sell if need be. So I don't see an issue there on them right now. See, Bitcoin is going to 60,000. Sailor and Thiel are morons for buying BTC at 90,000. Well, who would have thought this, right? I mean, even Sailor, I mean, has, I think, Trump's ear a little bit as well. I mean, he's met with Trump plenty of times. You don't think, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people that are also very wealthy are against the tariffs and the way it's being done. It's just, I don't know. It is what it is. Let's see, Carl, you should have told Seb not medical advice. Please do your due diligence. Yeah, it's always not medical advice when it comes to hear anything like that. But I'm just giving you guys what's going on with me, so you guys kind of know why I'm a little red sometimes because of the meds or I missed a med or something like that. So it is what it is. We deal with it. We move on. Let's see. Canada and Mexico will become destinations to buy Chinese merchandise. Well, I'm going there in the summer for about 10 days. We'll see how things, how the contrast between what's going on here in the United States and Mexico. Okay. All right. Let's see. We're here to save the day. Apply now and start your new career today. Limited positions available. Oh, that's freaking awesome. I love that. McDonald's Staffing Solutions. Whoever did that, kudos. That's awesome. So, yeah, we might be all looking for work at McDonald's here. But even then, I think the robots are going to take over our... I mean, a lot of stuff is already robotized there anyways, right? I mean, so it's only going to get worse. All right, let's see. Trump talked a lot about bringing manufacturing jobs back to America, and while a few companies made symbolic moves or returned a small part of their operations, most didn't. Yeah, because, I mean, you got to weigh the options, weigh the costs. You know, this is the hard part. Yes, there's countries that make a lot of the stuff that we buy, but they also have labor that's really inexpensive compared to what the labor market is here in the United States. Is that right or wrong? I don't know. I mean, we can debate that however you want. But if you're paying somebody in Asia, where it might be, you know, $5 a day for something that they're just sitting there screwing in all day for 8 hours, 10 hours a day, whatever it might be, and then you try paying that to somebody here at $20 an hour, that's $200 basically, or $160, whatever it might be, for 8 hours. $5, right? $160. I mean, you see the difference there. So until that gets, I mean, unless we have everybody all over the place in the world having the same wages equally, things are not going to change. People are going to be looking for wherever there's the lowest cost of labor, right? And it's because just the way the thing works, the economies. All right, let's see here. It's getting simple. BlackRock isn't buying BTC. The ETF is, they have very little. Microsoft has none. They have other plans, and U.S. getting rich isn't it. Okay. Let's see. So, yeah, slogans like bring jobs back sound good, but the reality is more complicated. What kind of industry were you thinking about in particular? I don't know if you're referring to me or not. Just any kind of industry, right? Any kind of thing that's manufacturing, anything. Any holdings left in Bitfarms? Yep, I still own Bitfarms shares there. Still own 8,000. Haven't sold anything. See where things go. Benseed oil and margarine for a week. I have same problem scratching in bulbs on skin. Oh, Benseed oil and margarine for a week. Do you put it on the skin? I'm guessing. I'm guessing you don't. Well, you can ingest margarine, but I'm guessing you put it on the skin. Okay, that's something that I'll take a look at. I've tried recently to get rid of like carbohydrates, sugar, as well, to see if that would help relieve some of the inflammation. But I'm an open book for you guys. You guys know what's going on with me here. All right. China exports to almost every country in the world, but it's the biggest customers are, yeah, the United States, historically the biggest buyer of Chinese goods, electronics, machinery, yeah. Yep. So, all right, Rick does not eat, put it on the skin. I've tried also coconut oil as well. Yeah, so I could try that, see how that works. See if that has any kind of antioxidants or any kind of, what's it called? Inflammation properties or something like that. All right. It said miners gig did not work. Let's make this a medical channel. No. That's the only thing I want to talk about is, I mean, you guys can see it on my face. So that way you guys know what's going on with me, right? It's not a big deal. All right. IREN in a bad spot, only profitable miner at this BTC price, but may have to delay AI HPC or dilute ATM at low cost like others. Yeah, I mean, that's the hard part, right? Right now, with everything the way it's turning down, I'm sure there's going to be some pause in everybody's minds right now when it comes to HPCI a little bit, and that's going to affect, obviously, them. Now, The good thing is they are profitable, so they can hold off on the ATM until they actually absolutely need the doggone thing and actually can use it for their advantage right now. So they have optionality. They've got plenty of cash right now as it is also. They're selling the Bitcoin that they mine there, so they've been putting that to work also. So I don't think they're in any bad shape as it is. All right. All right, let's see. We're going on about 15 minutes here or so. Wow, it's actually faster than I thought. I thought we were going to be going longer than that. But yeah, we'll call it a day. Really appreciate you guys coming in here as always. You guys make me laugh. Love having the conversations with you guys. So keep them coming tomorrow. We'll do whatever happens tomorrow. We'll see what happens. We'll cover it. We'll talk about it. We'll chat about it. We'll complain about it and reminisce about the good times when we were seeing Bitcoin at 100,000. All right. Love you all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Tomorrow's hump day. We're almost halfway through the week. Can't get much worse than this, can it? See you guys tomorrow.